No thanks. Right, here we are on the Division survival mode, so just thought I'd give this a quick blast because I haven't actually done this for a little while. I did a little game yesterday. I'm selecting PvE because I don't really I went into a PvP game the other day and there's no one else in there, so if you don't know anything about this game, basically you're about to find out about it. It's the best game mode that they implemented in the original Division, and it's woefully bad that for Division 2 they haven't got a similar mode. So this is in snowy New York. I'll probably play the full cutscene through actually. I'm not worried about being the first to extract. Basically something happens and you're dumped in the outskirts of the map. You've got to make your way to the centre of the map, but you have to fight off the cold, and also initially you're very ill-equipped. So the first part of the game, I mean I might die, is very dangerous because not only are you freezing to death, but there's also NPCs that can kill you because you've only got a pistol to begin with. So I'm going to go through what I would say would be a normal run for me and how I approach it. The real trick with this is that when you call in a chopper, if you get to the centre, hunters spawn. The other day I played a game and one hunter spawns for every person that's trying to extract or in the zone, so it was only me, I thought. My helicopter was about to land and all of a sudden I was up there and all of a sudden these I think 3 or 4 hunters spawned in a puff of smoke, you know. Zimzalabim, they just suddenly appeared, which meant that there were other players in the vicinity, and they triggered the thing where it goes, hold on a minute, if there's more players in the vicinity, I need more hunters. And it's a shame I didn't record it, because ironically enough I managed to kill 2 of their hunters for them, but most of them died, because if you get in close quarters combat with these guys, the hunters will, you know, I mean most people panic. I always panic. I always panic when a hunter comes at me, you know. So you may hear some weird noises in the background. The dogs are eating their bones. There's 2 of them next to me. You can't see them, but they're eating their marrow bones, so they're chomping away on those. As you can see, when you try a game of survival, now this isn't a problem because the game has not a lot of players, because I came in here at the weekend and there was a ton of people actually in the area. This is the main staging zone for survival, so you can see people still play the original Division because it's better than the Division 2 basically. Something about it, the location, the snow, the dark zone is better. Not that I'm a PvP player because I'm crap at it. This always takes a while to sort of create a server and then get everyone together. I think what it does is that it tries to group as many people as possible at the same time to fill up the server. So you know if there are other people in the game, because once you look at the map you'll see other hideouts that are on the map which you haven't discovered yet. So that is a prime example of you knowing there's other players. So normally in PvE you try and get into the dark zone first, which is where you're heading to, because if you don't do it quick enough, someone normally steals all of the Division tech which you need to make high-end weapons and things to stand a chance against the hunters. The other thing is, if someone has done that, then what you can do is leech off of someone's extraction, but you have to wait till the helicopter's landed, because if you're anywhere near the zone and you suddenly rush in, a hunter could spawn and cause trouble. But then you could also use that as a tactic to, if someone's stolen all the Division tech, you could say, well actually I'm going to do that to piss them off, and it could catch them out and result in their death. When this game first came out, you could actually if someone was down, instead of healing them, you could pistol whip them and steal all their gear, but they removed that in the PvE version because they thought that was a bit more of a PvP type thing to do. So the advantage of PvP, if you can survive long enough, is that if there's a group of you, it's great because you can run around and kill everyone and steal all their gear and everything they've crafted and all their weapons and stuff like that. But these days I don't think there are many people, depending on what time of the day it is and things like that. I mean, you don't know what countries all these people are from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down that staircase is the underground, which is a really good mini mission based mode set in all the underground railway areas. That's another great thing they should have brought back to the Division 2. Actually, the way the original in Division 2, when you move your character around, he seems to react a bit slower, and they tried to make the character feel like he has weight, but all they did was make it feel unresponsive in a way. So they did screw up quite a few things that made the Division 1 really good. I mean, I can't... How old's this game? This game must be about 4 or 5 years old, something like that. I mean, they're sort of supporting Division 2 with content, but it seems very basic. The fact they're not even bringing a survival mode into Division 2 is terrible, really. I mean, even one of the guys, main head honchos at Massive, said that it's his favourite mode. And this I suppose, if you had it as a battle royale mode, this was their first battle royale mode, because if you did PvP, that would be a battle royale mode. So this game, instead of a circle decreasing and forcing you into the middle, your actual objective is to get into the middle, but there's lots of barriers in the way. I mean, you could be running down the street, and because of the snow and things like that, there might be this big boss, like a yellow armoured boss that would be there, or some NPCs, and see, the thing is, you have gear score. Like at the moment, if I look at my character, I'm maxed leveled, and I've got, this is anything with a folder next to it is classified gear. So I've got some classified gear on at the moment. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, it looks like I'm missing. I may have accidentally deleted one of my bits of gear. I did have a full Nomad set, but I've got like exotic weapons coming out of my wazoo at the moment. So I've got some big exotic weapons there, and everything is maximized, leveled up, because you get an optimization. My dog's in the way. You get an optimization station where you can max out all the stats on everything, and I don't know. I mean, there was always, in the Dark Zone especially, if you're on your own, you really had to creep around and not create much of attention, because I mean, I think the way the builds worked, even though they're quite complex, a skill build would be very good and a damage build would be very good, although in the early days the clever ones realised that if you had a couple of glass cannon builds where these guys just splashed out so much damage that everyone else would just drop, and then you'd be down, and then maybe have a healer or something, or a tank to take some damage. The groups of 4 that used to run riot around the Dark Zone were ridiculous. And because they fragmented the Dark Zone into 3, I think it's 3 areas in Division 2, each area is a bit smaller, whereas when you had one big central area that was the Dark Zone, which is the PvP arena, where anything went, you know, they did have this thing where if you had the voice turned on, you could actually, when you're in proximity of other players, you could talk to them or hear them chat and things like that. That was quite a new thing at the time. So the original division had a lot of interesting ideas, which as soon as they moved to Washington and had this sort of overgrown, you know, Will Smith I Am Legend look without the snow and the cold and the whole vibe of the place, it just wasn't as good. And this is taking forever. This is taking a really long time. I don't know whether it's scouring. Oh god, these dogs with their bones. I don't know whether it's scouring the world for players. I mean, I heard an interesting comment the other day, is that apparently those poor gamers in Brazil have only just got the PS4 released over there, because the exchange rate and everything, I think a PS4 in Brazil is sort of like the rough equivalent of like almost £1,000 over here. It's like 4 times as expensive. So yeah, it's a lot of money in Brazil, so I don't think they'll be getting PS5 anytime soon. So what's happening here? Come on. Still searching. So this is the waiting area. I wonder if I go out of the waiting area, will it? Oh, it's still matchmaking, so I can run around here. You've got the PvP thing called Last Stand. That was quite good, actually. I only you see I'm only ranked 2 on that. Quite enjoyed that. The underground's down those stairs.
Something new right here for you.
I mean, I dare say that, I mean, if I wanted to, I could go and do high value targets, is what the HVT stands for. So I might do some underground. I'm trying to get my mate Paul. So my best score is 15,050. It's not huge by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not bad. Not a bad score. But that was, I think that was a game we played where I think me and Paul were playing it, and there were, I don't know how many hunters I killed. Because you get bonuses for crafting you have to craft a mask to go into the dark zone. So our first priority when we jump into this game is clothing ourselves, and you also have to take pills to stem the virus as well. But there's like a body clock, so there is a finite amount of time, and the more pills you take, it does get to a point where even if you take a pill, within 10-20 seconds it says you're infected, so there is a countdown. One of the achievements I had to do for this was I had to extract with, I think it was 20 or 30 seconds left on my life clock. That was one of the fun things I had to do. And I think I actually timed it. I timed it how long it took from calling a helicopter in to when I could get on the helicopter. And then I had to reverse it and then add 20 seconds and then work out. But obviously I had to clear a zone, because you don't want to call the helicopter in, because as soon as you do that the hunters appear. So actually, the good thing about this is if you miss the chopper and it buggers off and you've killed your hunter, you can call in the chopper again and it will pick you up, and the hunter won't appear again. I mean, I've seen some people, they just, if they got half an hour left on their life, they just go around taking out landmarks and calling in hunters in lots of different places and taking them on and trying to get their score up, and literally leaving it to the last minute before they escape. When you're playing in a group though, the thing we found with me and Paul is he'll run off, he'll know roughly where we'll go. I'll put a safe house. There's safe houses on this map, so you jump from safe house to safe house so you don't die of cold. Working your way gradually into the middle, gearing up, getting better gear, crafting things as you go, and then you put them on. And the thing is, you need to be about 17 degrees of cold weather protection by the time you get to the dark zone. Otherwise you could even be in the dark zone and still feeling the cold, and it will gradually erode away at you, and you have to warm your hands next to a barrel or something. But this is ridiculous. I was hoping this live stream would I mean, it will just start with no warning at all. Suddenly a 5-second timer will come up, and it will So the matchmaking in the division is quite good as well. On Division 2 I had to do a mission at the end, but I was finding it quite difficult, so I did a match made and joined a squad, and by the time we finished it we had 4 players. But that was quite a funny one, because I had this reviver thing that when you die it revives you, and so what happened was the guy got killed, but then it was like a wipe. Everyone was dead, so technically we would have had to have wiped again, but because I had a reviver, it revived me and I was the last man standing, so I then went round and revived everyone else, and we actually finished that, which is a bit of a relief, because it's quite an annoying boss battle. But if this... Oh, for God's sake, dog, can't you hold on to your bone? It's what you do, isn't it? Right. What's going on? Can I survive long enough to keep my patience while this searches for a server? That's what it should be entitled. For God's sakes.
I need you to take care of a problem.
Come on.
I'm afraid I'm starting to lose it. This shit I'm hearing, well, let's just say it sounds more like something out of an airport paper act in real life.
So on his shoulder there, I've got a patch there. I managed to get all of the patches in the game. That took a bit of doing. These, I wonder whether they're in here. Are they in here? Scarves? Oh yeah, Division Shield patches. Oh, these are the ones. It's called the Division Shield, and what the big draw of that one at the time was that if you completed all these shields, then you'd actually get I think it was some like cosmetic DLC or something in the Division 2. But what? Oh, there was an exclamation mark there. I wonder why that is. So that was a big draw at the time, but oh, resurrected from the brink. Oh yeah, that's because I revived. I did a Division Survive on Sunday, and it was a PvP, and it was only me and this other dude, and he kept going around grabbing all the loot. So after a while this got to be a bit boring, really, because I kept reviving him with my own medkits, which meant if I went down I'd be out the game. I was screwed. So he kept dying, and then in the end I just thought, you know what, bugger this, I'm just going to make my own way into the dark zone and extract without him. And then lo and behold, I was about to go and extract, and then it came up on the map that he was down. So by that time I was tooled up with like the best guns and nearly, you know, all yellow armor and everything, and so I tracked him down, and then I thought, oh, all right, I'll grab a thing, and I revived him. And then after I revived him, I thought, well, he's just going to go on his merry way, and he didn't, and so I called the chopper in, and the thing spawned 2 hunters. So I was secretly hoping that he was going to get killed by a hunter, and then I could just leave him there as I disappeared off on the helicopter, left him dying in the cold on the floor. But he managed to stay out of the way and stay alive long enough. I killed both hunters as well, so this is taking forever, this bloody thing. What a joke. I don't know how long the stream's been running, but hold on. Cancel that. Let's cancel that. Game Finder. Right, let's see if it finds it now. Maybe it just needs a little bit of a prompt. So yeah, so I was hoping this bloke was going to die, but he didn't. So, but I think I resurrected him from death about, I think it was 3 times on the outside of the zone, and then when I got in the dark zone I thought, well, if he dies outside I can't go back, so he's buggered. And then one time, so I think I raised him from the dead about 4 times. So he was quite lucky. He didn't even wave or anything to me, and all he did was go around stealing all the loot. I mean, I literally he went into this place. I'd resurrected him, right? I'd used up one of my med kits, so he must have known I need a med kit, and he went in this bloody chemist or whatever it was place and looted all the med kits, the bastard. And I thought, I mean, even I wouldn't do something that selfish, you know. So yeah, that was very annoying. So that's when I washed my hands of him. I should have left him to die actually in the dark zone. I should have just, I don't know, I should have done this little dance, do a dance on him or something. Had I done this dance right in his face, that would have been very appropriate, I would have thought. Actually, he might have had an East European name anyway when he did it, so that would have been appropriate as well. Come on. What a joke. What a complete joke.
Hey, Agent. Got something serious for you.
15,000, that's what we're trying to beat. I doubt we'll beat that unless I can take out some landmarks, which are very risky early on in this game. So the way it works is the closer you get to the centre, they go from sort of red enemies to purple with armour, and then you get some roaming yellow with armour. So not only do you have to have extended fights for these nasties, you need decent weapons, and you sit down, dog, and you need to be careful because you can just get stuck in, you know, on terrain or something, and they can just tear you to pieces if you're not sensible. One tactic that's quite good early on is if you can construct a turret. That's quite good because that can really save your bacon. And I haven't normally done that when I've been playing with my mate Paul, but a turret is quite a good thing to have if you're trying to do it solo. What's happening? Come on, Ubisoft, what's the matter with your servers? Can't you let me in? This has got to be the most boring stream ever created. Jesus. Dog, get off me! Oh, get off me! You big lump. Oh. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this bloody stream, and then when it actually starts, I'll restart it. So this is part 1, maybe. So hopefully I can actually have something entertaining to show people.